Hello. Welcome. Welcome, loves. Welcome to Sacred Feminine Fridays. Today is episode 6, and we're going to talk about the art of feminine manifestation, a little bit about the law of attraction, and we're going to really break down the law of attraction into the main principles that govern this law. So you, my loves, can really become the master creator of your reality. So I welcome you here today. I'm going to go ahead and invite you to close down your eyes. We can collect our energy and really get ourselves into the space, ground into this here and now moment. So I'm going to invite you to close down your eyes if you're in a place to do so, and take a deep breath into your body, into your heart. Make a sound on the way out. You can make a sigh. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Let's take one more deep breath together. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Please, from this place, with your eyes closed, set a clear, empowered intention to open yourself up to receive all that is available for you here today. My intention for our gathering is to be a clear, pristine conduit and channel, an instrument of the divine and selfless service, to allow for the highest and greatest miracles and magic to unfold for all of us gathered here today, and for those watching the replay, and for love, healing, joy, bliss, and activating energy to flow through my voice into this sacred energetic container and space, and also welcoming in and inviting in the highest divine support and participation throughout our time together. Thank you. Whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. Again, blessings, my love. Welcome to episode 6 of Sacred Feminine Fridays, where I go live at 11:11 on Friday, on Venus Day, for this podcast style video transmission, really for spiritual seekers, spiritual women, or spiritual seekers seeking soul evolution through your own divinity. Really, those of you that are seeking to align with your soul's truest and highest expression and to create the life that you are destined for, my loves. So today we are going to be talking a little bit about the art of feminine manifestation, and I'm going to go into it as deep as I can for the next 30 to 45 minutes that we have together. So this is kind of like the basis of your spiritual journey, right? Like, I feel like most people, when they learn about manifesting and the law of attraction, this is what really opens everyone up to the fact that they're the creator of their own reality, that you are not a victim of your circumstances, that you can make real and powerful, empowered change in your lives, right? That, for me, was what opened my world up to the spiritual world. For me, I picked up a book called Mind to Matter by Dawson Church. And I was really interested in the brain and neurology and neuroscience. And then this book was just incredibly powerful in the sense that it opened up my eyes, my heart, my soul to the possibilities of the world and the possibilities that I held within me. And it came at a time where I felt very, I felt like my life had taken a wrong turn somewhere, in all candidness. I just didn't feel like I was in control of my life anymore. And I had so much promise and excitement for the life that I was going to create for myself as a child, as a little girl, and even in college. And then I just felt like the wind had been taken out from underneath my sails, and I had looked around. I just wasn't happy with the life that I was living and the person I was at that time. So yeah, the law of attraction, I feel like it's something that we all really, we learn, and we think it's easy, right? As you think, so you create. And then you just believe something enough and think about it enough and it becomes yours, right? It's just easier as that. And so then we go out there and we start doing that, and it's not so easy. We feel like we're forcing, we're pushing, we're trying to control our desires into reality, right? Or changes that we may have, things that we want to create in our life, experiences that we want to have. And we get tired, we get frustrated, we get angry, we give up, and it just leaves us in this place of, still yearning, still desiring and not having. And so I hope that I can share with you guys here today some tips, some really just profound understanding around the laws that govern our ability to create and magnetize our desires, right? So yes, I just think it's so incredibly important that once we learn and have an understanding, then we can truly master these concepts, right? We can really become aware of where we are, or where we're working for our desires, or where we're working against our desires. So thank you guys for being here today. I hope you can get some gold out of this. At the very least, a reminder, right? Like this is because if you're like me, again, I've been on my journey in this lifetime, I guess 6 years now. The law of attraction, that's really what you start off with. And then you start applying those principles and they become really kind of an everyday part of your life. But you don't go back to that. You go journeying off for all this other deeper spiritual information. And it's always really good to come back to the basics. It's always really good to come back to the foundation of what we're doing here. And it really is, because you want to become a sovereign master creator of your reality, right? You want to create the life of your dreams. You want to create greater spiritual enjoyment and experiences. I mean, you want to create these things for yourself. And so it's just so incredibly important to understand how you can truly become the creator of your reality. So that's what we're discussing here, the art of feminine manifestation. And I call it feminine manifestation because, lots of reasons. The main principles of how you manifest in a more feminine approach, the feminine energy, right? It's not only just an energetic approach, which I feel is very masculine, but it's got this more spiritual approach to it as well. So we'll get into all of that. So yes, if you have been frustrated, you're applying the laws of attraction and manifestation to your life and you're just not seeing or getting the results that you want. Often we learn about the law of attraction through The Secret. That's at least how a lot of us and a lot of other people who are teachers of these practices and understandings and spiritual truths, or just truths of our world, that's how they've learned, right? And The Secret is incomplete. It only focuses on your thoughts, and it doesn't focus on, your feelings, your emotions, and your underlying beliefs. So yes, we'll keep on going here. So how you interact with the quantum field, right? The field that connects all things. How you interact with the quantum field or the source field where all things have emerged and manifested and come out of. In addition to the beliefs that you have and the expectations that you have around your desires, around what you're trying to create in your life, that determines the reality that you receive, that determines the reality that you create. So we're going to break that down and get into that more. So we're going to go through these principles that are governing the law of attraction, these principles that are governing how we create. So the first principle is the principle of alignment. So alignment is, when you're aligned with what it is that you're trying to create. And really, and we're going to break it down in a couple different ways that you can really focus on this act of alignment. So the energy, we are broadcasting through our thoughts, our emotions, our beliefs, and our expectations must be in energetic resonance or alignment with the outcome that we desire. So again, this is kind of going back to the original Secret, right? It didn't include all of these pieces and components. It just talked about our energy and really focused on the thoughts. But our energy is not just comprised of our thoughts. It's comprised of the beliefs that we hold, which help drive the expectations that we have towards our desires, right? Which also in turn create a feeling or emotion. Our expectations are either going to be expectations of excitement for what's to come, or they're going to be expectations of not being able to receive that which we desire, which is going to create an energy or an emotion with us that's either going to feel good or not feel good. And we'll get into that a little bit more. So, but all of these pieces, all of these parts are what go into your energy and what it is that you're creating in your reality, drawing to you, right? The energy that you're broadcasting. So the field, the quantum field, the universe at large, it gives you what you're sending out, right? Like, we are master creators. We are powerful beings. And so it just gives us what we put out. It's not a mind reader. It's not just reading our thoughts, or it's not just reading what we say we want. The universe doesn't give us what we say we want. It gives us what we think we deserve, or what we think we can, or what we're expecting, or what we, how we feel about our desires, right? That's what it's receiving. That's the information that it's deciphering, if you will. So yes, emotions are way more powerful too than we give credit for. So we give a lot of attention to our brain, a lot of attention to our thoughts, right? But your emotions are what's magnetic. So your emotions are really what they hold more weight, if you will, more often than your thoughts. So it's incredibly important to not only just say what we want, but to be in emotional resonance or alignment with what it is that we desire. So I want to take a little bit of a step back. It's not really a step back. It all flows beautifully. But I would like to discuss the importance of desire, the sacredness, rather, of our desires. So it's important to align with our soul's desires. And to do that, we have to uncover what they are. What are your soul's desires? But also recognizing that desire is the very first step in all creation. Without desire, nothing would happen. Nothing would get done, right? And every desire that arises within you, that you receive, is a desire from the divine. It's a desire from the God self that you are. So you are not connected from the universe. You are not connected from God, right? The energy, the source, that is God, this Holy Spirit, if you will, created everything that we see, including you and me. So you are not separate from anything really in the universe. And this is what the quantum realm is really about. So the original desire that God had, source had, creator had, to know itself, to experience itself, is being birthed and experienced through you. So every desire you have is sacred. It is God's desire to experience itself through your life. You are in a co-creative process with the divine. God and you as your own, in somewhat individuated self, through your power, God gifted you and I with the power of free will. Free will to choose the life that we want to create, a life filled of joy and bliss and happiness. And our desires, and when we follow our desires, that is how we bring ourselves to the greatest bliss, joy, and happiness that we can experience in this lifetime. And that's what God wants for you. That's what you want for yourself. That's what the universe at large wants for you to experience your greatest expansion, evolution, joy, right? So desires are sacred. And the pursuit of our desires is spiritual. It's a spiritual journey. And it's not because of what we're trying to get to, right? It's not the destination that we're seeking. It's who we're going to become when we are seeking to fulfill our desires. Desires are a catalyst for our growth, for our evolution. You wouldn't be here listening to this if you didn't have a desire to learn, to grow, to evolve, to ascend, right? To experience more bliss, joy, and happiness, to create your dreams, bring your dreams into reality. These are all desires, and they are sacred, my love. So the principle of alignment is about aligning with our desires. We have to determine what our desires are. So once you determine your desires, you can align with them. Then you can also align with yourself as the infinite source, as a creator being. So alignment is when you are really in perfect sync with nature, your heart and mind are in perfect sync, right? Your energy field is in sync with what you are trying to create in your life. So that is the first principle within the law of attraction, right? The principle of alignment. Principle number 2 is the principle of focus. So I'm sure you guys have heard where your attention goes, your energy flows. So your attention is this energy of focus, focusing your attention, right? So the law of attraction does not respond to what you say you want. It responds to how you feel. So when we are choosing where to place our focus, there are 2 important areas that we want to look at when we're looking at our desires and say, okay, am I focusing on this or am I focusing on this, right? So the first area of focus is you can choose to focus on lack or abundance. That means you can choose to focus on the fact that your desire is not currently in your life, which puts you in a place of wanting or needing, which actually repels your desires. Or you can choose to focus on abundance, the abundance of the universe, the abundance of who you are, right? The abundance that is always available to us in each here now moment, if we choose to focus on that. So you can choose to focus on the lack of your desire being in your life, the lack of money, the lack of resources, the lack of time, the lack of a loved one or partner, right? Or you can choose to focus on the abundance of love in the world, the abundance of money in the world, and what you already have that makes you feel abundant. And this, we'll get into this more into the principle of having, but all of these are intricately connected to one another, right? It's not really linear. So they all connect beautifully. But when you really look at all of these principles, it allows you to look at your own desires and what you are, whether you and where you are. It's like troubleshooting, right? Where are you in alignment? Where are you would doing what you need to be doing to create the life that you desire and attract what you want, or where are you actually blocking yourself from receiving? So you can choose to focus on abundance or lack. And then where else can you choose to focus? You can choose to focus on the here and now moment, or you can choose to focus on the future that is coming your way, right? The amazing, amazing things that you are creating. Where we are now and what we see in our life is actually a product or a result, not of the energy that we are today, but it's a product of the energy that we were yesterday. So you are always in full control of how you show up every single day, and you're always in full control of what you manifest tomorrow and the future. So you can focus on the past, on what's gone wrong, on where you're lacking and be in this place of wanting. But then you're only going to create a future that looks like your past, right? Or you can choose to focus on the desires that you have and the full trust and knowing that it's only a matter of time before these desires are tangible in your own life. You can choose to focus on that. So that's the power of focus. You can choose to focus on what's in front of you, or you can choose to look at the past. So now we're going to move on to number 3, the principle of joyful expectancy. So your desire connects you with what it is that you desire, whereas your expectations actually draw that experience into your life. So I'm sure you may have heard, what you get is what you expect, or as we believe, so we create. That is what this is talking about, the principle of joyful expectancy, or the principle of expectancy in general, right? So no matter if it's conscious or unconscious, no matter if you're being intentful or intentional, or if it's just happening because it's what's there, what you believe. As you believe, or what you expect is what you're going to see. It's what you're going to receive. So this is one way that we split our energy, right? And actually vibrationally block ourselves from receiving what we want. So this is the idea again, like the universe, you can say all day what it is that you desire, but it's the energy that you're putting out that the universe is responding to. So if you say you want $1 million, or if you say you want, a financial abundance in your life, but you don't believe that you can actually create that, then you're not going to create it. You're not going to receive it. So this is the whole reason that affirmations and just pure visualization doesn't always work, or at least affirmations, just repeating something over and over again. Just because you're repeating it doesn't mean, you need to believe it. So as you believe, so you create. Your emotions are a gauge to know if you are, to help you uncover where you're at with your beliefs around your desire. So your emotions act as feedback, and they're providing moment by moment information to let you know if you're on track or not. So if you are feeling worried or concerned about your financial situation, then you are expecting, or in that state of expectation around a not positive outcome. But if you are excited about what's to come, if you're focused on getting a promotion or bringing in new clients, and you are in a state of joyful expectancy and excitement around that, even though where you are at might be bills stacking up, and your bank account's not where you want it to be able to pay the bills, and you could very well easily be in the state of worry and concern. But you are choosing to stay in joyful expectancy instead. So don't use your energy to worry. Use your energy to believe and to trust in yourself and the universe at large. So using your emotions to be able to determine where is your energy split around your desire. Do you truly believe, or are you expecting the outcome that you want? Or are you just saying, I want this, I want this, I want this, but internally you have a belief that is keeping you from actually feeling like you could create that in your life. So we're going to move on to principle number four, yes. The principle of having. So this is another way that we get into either lack or abundance. So the moment that so step back. So the principle of having, right? So you can either feel that what you want is lacking. You can focus on the fact that it's missing from your life. You can focus on the fact that it's not currently here. And when you do that, you're actually pushing away what you desire, because you're in the resonance of needing or wanting, not currently having. Or you can focus on the feeling of having that which you desire. So that's when you shift your attention from the feeling of what's missing, the fact that you don't currently have your desire that you're trying to manifest. Instead, you focus on the presence of abundance and the appreciation of what's to come. Gratitude is such a magnetic emotion. You can focus on the gratitude of what you already have, which is an incredibly powerful practice. That gets you immediately in the motion of already having, or the energy of already having. You can focus on gratitude for what's already in your life. And then you can focus on gratitude for what's coming. Because you have full faith and confidence in the universe bringing you that which you desire, because you know you're the master creator of your reality. And you know that if you fully believe and you set your intention and you practice these principles, that the universe has no choice but to give you what you want, what you desire. The way our world works, right? This is conscious manifestation. This is deliberate manifestation. This is intentional manifestation, my loves. This is becoming the master of your reality, the master creator of your reality, having full sovereignty over your life. This is what it takes to create your dreams. And it can be fun. It can be a lot of fun, which is actually the next principle, right? So I'll wrap up on the principle of having. So you make a shift to abundance, make a shift to what's coming, make a shift to gratitude instead of being in the energy of needing, wanting, the lack of what you have, right? And when you shift from wanting to having, you shift from becoming to being, and you also shift from striving to allowing. So we're going to move into the next principle, which is the principle of loving, which is what I was kind of touching on there a second ago, right? So love is the fuel that drives every act of creation. The universe, God, source itself is unconditional love. That is the energy. Therefore, it's a driving force. So loving is pure magnetic attraction. It is the highest vibration that you can achieve. And what's so incredibly important is to fall in love with this process. I mentioned at the beginning, so many of us become jaded. I think that's the perfect word. Jaded with the law of attraction, jaded with manifestation, right? Because we feel like we're pushing, we're controlling, we're forcing, we're seeking, we're trying to find our desires. And it doesn't feel good. It simply hasn't felt good yet, right? And we've been missing these pieces, these key pieces, which is the art of feminine manifestation. It's a feminine manifestation. It's trust, it's surrender, it's ease, it's flow, it's magnetic. It's a more full and complete understanding of the law of attraction. And it also brings in the piece of your own divinity, the piece of you being a part of the one infinite creator, no separate than, you being quantumly entangled with all of reality, you being the master creator of your reality as an aspect of God, here to create, here to experience, you recognizing that your desires are sacred. So the art of feminine manifestation, or feminine manifestation in general, it really is energetic mastery coupled with your divinity, right? The truth of your divinity. So loving the process, right? We've become jaded with manifestation and creation, but we don't have to be. We can love the process. We can enjoy the process. Again, what I said earlier, it's the process of becoming that we're seeking. These desires are fueling our transformation, our change, our life experiences. They're fueling us, raising our consciousness and becoming empowered, magical beings. So fall in love with the process of creation. So the principle of loving. Now we're going to move into the principle of surrender. So this is another piece of why this is such a feminine way of creation, right? And we only can really and truly have surrender if we focus on our divinity. So the principle of surrender is having faith, trusting in the universe, trusting in yourself, which allows us to let go of control. When we let go of control, we can surrender. So when we let go of control, we're not trying to dictate to the universe, to the world, how our desires need to show up, right? We don't care how they come into our life. We don't need to figure all of those details out. That's not our responsibility. The universe has got it. Our angels, our divine team, enlightened spirit, our higher self, these other parts or layers of us, facets of us that are higher dimensionally and have a bigger picture of what's going on, they know what we need. They're not limited to this reality. It's unlimited, and it's truly unlimited possibilities, right? So once we start trying to dictate to the universe how our desires need to show up, we're limiting ourselves. We're limiting our co-creative partner in the universe and saying, oh, it's got to look like this. An example of this would be really wanting to go into a vacation, right? You're really wanting to go on a trip somewhere, and you're trying to manifest the money to go on that vacation, to go on that trip. But what if you don't need the money to go on the trip? What if you just win the vacation, right? But you're so focused on and visualizing, and you're sitting there and you're trying to visualize yourself winning the money or making enough money, or all the ways that money could come to you, and you're so focused on that to be able to go on this amazing, wonderful trip. And the universe is like, hello, let go of that. Your focus and attention is so drilled into that. Let go of that. Surrender. You don't have to figure out how it comes to you. The universe is like, we could gift you that trip for free. You don't need the money. So this is another way that we surrender. We don't need to let go of control. You don't need to focus on the how. You don't need to focus on how your desires show up to you and show up in your life. What's the other? Or getting too specific, right? Sometimes we can get really, really specific. Like, this is the company that I need to work for. And this is because this is the only company, this is a perfect personal experience. That company is who I've got to work for, that they're going to bring me what it is that I want, right? And the universe is like, no, there's another company out there that's actually better for you. But you keep focusing so much on that one company, thinking that company is going to bring you joy, bliss, happiness, expansion, freedom. The reality is when we get so specific and think that's the company I need to work for to get all those things, the universe says, no, just focus on what you want. What you really want to create is happiness, joy, surrender, freedom, right? You want to have creative freedom at work. You want abundance. You want to be appreciated. Like, that's what you want. You want those things. Focus on that. Don't focus on the minor details on who you have to work for and what it's got to, your role. Just focus on the feeling. And that also helps you in the principle of having as well. Focus on the feeling of having that which you desire. Focus on the emotion tied to that feeling. Focus on that. And the universe will figure the rest out for you. Our divine team will figure out the rest for you. Your higher self will figure out the rest for you. It's non-local. It has a much bigger picture of what's going on here. And that's how we welcome miracles and magic into our life. Trust and surrender are gateways for miracles and magic. Magic with a K. So allow, and then also this opens us up, right? So then you make space to receive. Once you surrender the worry, surrender the concern, surrender trying to control. You make space to receive. And then when you make space to receive, you're opening yourself up and allowing all that you need, all that you desire and require to be experienced, to be presented to you through your own energetic alignment with your divinely inspired desires. So the last principle number 7 that we're going to go over is the principle of action. Principle of action. I think what you'll notice is that the first 6 principles are completely internal. The first 6 principles that govern the laws of attraction and manifestation and creation in our universe are completely internal. It's not until we get to number 7 that we talk about action. This is the opposite of the way that we do things in this world. We are always in action. We are just doing, hoping it'll stick, hoping it'll land. That is not how we create. So if you are always in action, then you are missing and not giving attention to these other 6 ways, these other 6 principles that govern the way that we create. You're not giving any attention to that. It's not until we get to principle number 7 that we actually get in action, that we're actually externally doing things. So I think that's so incredibly important to note and to realize, because again, we are doing it opposite. We are getting into our mind and we're trying to plan, control, take as much action as we can. It's contrived action, right? Because we're having to figure it out on our own and we are just hoping that it works. Number 7, the principle of action. It's not about contrived action. It's divinely inspired action. So this is where, finally in principle number 7, this is where you take your divinely inspired action. Actions that are inspired rather than contrived or created from your own limited thinking, from your mind, are so much more effective. They're so much more effective because they are backed by your full spiritual power. They're backed by the divine. They're backed by the universe. They're backed by inspiration, by your higher self. And so when you take action, make sure it's inspired action. Make sure that you received the inspiration. You felt like, I needed to call this person. I need to go to this event. I need to do this marketing. I need to, whatever it is, because that's when you may not have planned on going to that event. You may not have planned on calling that person. You may not have planned on doing your marketing in that way. You may not have planned, but you received the divinely inspired inspiration. You took that action, and then you met the love of your life. You met your next client. You had the most magical transformational time. So inspired actions, I love inspired actions. So when we break down the laws of attraction, laws of creation, into these 7 principles that are so beautifully connected to each other, we can really look at how we're showing up, how we're trying to create, and say, okay, do I got this? Yeah. What can I work on? Are my expectations misaligned? What beliefs do I have around me achieving my desires? What beliefs do I have around the world? Do I believe the world is a world of lack? That I've got to work hard to get where I want to go? Or do I have beliefs of abundance? Do I have beliefs of self-confidence? Do I have beliefs of trust? Am I letting go of control? Am I trusting the universe? So I'll quickly go through, we've already touched on them, but some of the top manifesting mistakes, right? And you can ask yourself, are there any of these that I'm potentially, making? So not getting clear. You've got to get clear on your desires. That's how you align with them. What do you truly desire? And not just get clear on the desire itself, but get clear on the why. Why do you desire that? Because once you get into the why, you start getting into the essence of that desire. And then go even deeper and ask yourself, what is it that I want to feel or experience from this desire? So focusing on too many things at once. This is you splitting your energy and your attention. If you're trying to manifest in all areas of your life, well, you are splitting your attention. So no wonder what you want's not being created quickly. You feel like you're waiting, and nothing's happening. And then you give up and then it never happens, and then you're just self-validating your own beliefs of failure, your own expectations of it not working, right? So don't focus on so many things. Pick one area of your life that has the most energy, that is most primed to make change and transformation in. The one area of your life that is weighing on you heaviest, or that you just have the biggest desire for. Getting too specific or focusing on the how, right? We talked about those already. So don't get so specific, release control. Don't focus on the how. You don't need to worry about that. Doing it all on your own. Not recognizing that you're in a co-creative process with the universe, with God, with source, with your higher self. Don't try to do it on your own. It's going to take you so much longer to get where you want to be. Connect with the universe, move into a co-creative relationship and partnership with the divinity around you, with your own higher self, with your soul, with your angels and guides. And then surrendering to a higher power. That's another way that we give away our power when it comes to manifestation and creation. This is when we say, oh, the universe will take care of me. I've heard this a lot with love, right? Where people, want a loving partnership or relationship. And they said, well, if I'm meant to have it, I'll have it. And then they just sit there in non-action. You have to take divinely inspired action. It's incredibly important to take action. I know it was number 7. It's the last thing, but it's important to listen to the divine inspiration. It's just not go and just full non-action mode and just surrendering to a higher power in that sense. Surrender, the principle of surrender is still incredibly important, but this is when you're doing non-action surrender. And then the last one is ignoring your split energy or your vibrational blocks. You may say you want something, but you may have a belief that says otherwise. So tune into your emotions. Your emotions are your gauge. Your emotions are your feedback. Does it feel good when you think about your desire? Or do you have thoughts or beliefs, or feelings that don't feel very good trickle in that tell you, hey, I'm misaligned here. Even though I say I want this, I have a belief that says that I don't deserve it, or it's going to be hard to get it. So don't ignore your split energy or blocks. Tune into your feelings and emotions and let them act as your guide. Let them provide you that feedback and be your compass to help realign you. If it feels good, keep moving in that direction. If it doesn't feel good, stop. Take inventory. What's going on here? And realign yourself with what feels good. Okay, my loves, that was Sacred Feminine Fridays, episode number 6, The Art of Feminine Manifestation. And I just really quickly, even though this was about 45 minutes long, went into the 7 principles that really breaking down the law of attraction, right? The 7 principles that govern creation, and then some of those top manifesting mistakes. I want to invite you all. I have a 2-hour workshop around the art of feminine manifestation coming up next Thursday on the 17th, March 17th at 6 p.m. And we're going to go into all of this much, much, much deeper. And I'm actually going to have a workbook for you so you can work through these questions. And we are going to break down all of these principles, and we're going to change your mindset around from abundance to lack, moving you from wanting to having. And then I'm going to lead you at the end through a powerful manifesting meditation where you can apply all of these principles within a meditative state. And then you can always come back to that meditation later, right? And really tuning into your desire. The more attention, the more focus that we give our desires, it's like any sort of relationship that you have. The more attention and focus and love and attention that you give any relationship, including our relationship with our desires, then we nourish them with what they need to grow. So our desires, this is the process of creation, becoming a deliberate and conscious, intentional creation of your reality. It's not, we actually have to put attention and focus and effort into it, but it can be fun. It can be really, really fun. So we're going to run through, I have a workbook for you to run through. And then we will go into an actual meditative experience where you can tune into all of these principles and really feel, envision, already having, creating, tuning into your desire, the feeling of having your desire. So if you are brand new to manifestation, this is would be perfect for you. If you have been 6-7 years like myself on the journey, and it's been a while since manifestation is one of those things you do early on, this is going to be a great refresher. And I promise you, you're going to hear something new. And it's a fantastic opportunity to just give your desires 2 hours of your time. Whatever it is that you're trying to create in your life, whatever it is that you want to experience or receive in your life, through this masterclass, you're gifting your desires 2 hours of attention, 2 hours of focus. So come join me March 17th, Thursday at 6 p.m. for the Art of Feminine Manifestation Masterclass. It is a free masterclass. You can register, it's going to be in Zoom. You can register for the Zoom link in my bio. And I would love to see you guys there. This masterclass is structured in a way that if I had a friend giving this, I would want to attend. I know it would be worth my time. So if you can be there, if you can dedicate 2 hours to your desires, the life that you want to create for yourself, then I invite you to be there. Register in the bio. And as always, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you so incredibly much for being here. I hope you have a beautiful and a blessed rest of your Friday, an even more amazing weekend. Create an amazing weekend, my loves. Create a weekend of magic and miracles for yourself. Waves and waves of love from my heart to yours. Have a beautiful and blessed day.